The idea for this Community Advocates program started almost a decade ago. So the Community Advocates program was a way to pair guests from various local food pantries and provide them with training with a really quality community organizer. I'm so happy that we were able to bring on Joe Paparone this year.
The core idea is to identify and develop leaders who are directly impacted by various forms of poverty and oppression. I look at it as how do we organize, identify, develop, unite leaders from the class of the poor and dispossessed.
I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. I'm a working person. I have worked since I was 14, 12, really, babysitting. And then I get downsized. So that changed everything.
I spent some time in like my teenage years living out of my car. And at the time I was also working as a chef. And when you work in kitchens, you kind of see that folks are struggling.
I'm struggling, and I've seen the people struggling. Unless you live it, you really don't understand what people go through. You know, they have their house and they have their, you know, their nice life. And Rotterdam is a nice place to live, but some people are just one accident, loss of employment, an injury away from being destitute.
And when I was a teenager, 14, my other sister was 15, my brother was 16, and we were still hungry at night. We opened up a can of corn, drained the juices out of it, and I would put a thing of butter on it. We divided it 3 ways, 35 calories per serving.
I was facing a lot of basic needs gaps. Food insecurity, transportation insecurity, childcare insecurity. I was broke most of the time. I was a single parent of 2 small children.
Even with the food stamps, I had no money. They didn't give me any money. They just paid my rent and gave me $200 in food stamps for the whole month. I had to go out at night and collect cans so I could get by because it wasn't enough for food.
It's everything else that had gone up and over my head that I can't seem to stay afloat. I'm drowning. And I shouldn't be.
So I would love for politicians to just spend one day, just one day, being stripped of everything and have to start from the bottom up. People will know that having hungry people in the world is the wrong way. It shouldn't be that way. Nobody should have to be hungry.
We are the richest country in the world. Why do we have so many poor people?
There's a lot of things a lot of people in our communities don't know about, and which if they did, it could make us a stronger community.
I think the first thing we have to do is educate people a little bit more. Help us all find our commonality. As we've shared stories in this program that we're doing, so many people have said, I feel that. I've been there. I understand that. And it kind of helps to separate the reality from what the perception is in many cases.
There are way more like-minded people like me. We just don't talk. We pass each other in the store, we pass each other on the street, we pass each other in church. We just don't really talk and communicate about the things we're going through. If we did that, we would realize more of us are going through the same thing.
The task is always to keep building the organization of our class so that we have a broader base from which to push for the necessary changes. Because ultimately, we don't want anybody to be hungry. Our class, poor and dispossessed folks, we know what we need. We know the solutions, and it's our class that is being oppressed by these systems that generate and perpetuate, and actually the oppressive forces that benefit from the persistence of poverty. We are poor because somebody else is rich.
It's also been really, really helpful to just watch Joe facilitate conversations and bringing things back to like unity and why we're here, and refocusing those conversations.
Even with me in this program, I've learned so much so far that, there's things in here I'm like, you just didn't think that, you know what I mean? Since I've been in this group, my communication has gotten better. The way I talk to people, address people, and approach people is just way totally different. It's like an inner peace.
What really attracted me to this program is having the sort of media training, having more of the concrete tactics and knowledge to really organize more effectively.
I think the program is great. I learned a lot about why people are poor. It opened my eyes because I didn't realize about poverty. I thought poverty was this one set of things, and it's not. Poverty is many levels.
I feel a family connection. I feel a oneness. I feel like everybody's trying.
Being able to coordinate and organize and rally folks, I think those are all elements of the leadership development that I think we have obtained here.
Yeah, I think this program's great. I think this program would be good for a lot of people.
Just from being in this course, just from listening to each other talk and learning together, we already have such a bond. We would also like to be able to extend that to other members in the community and essentially just have this ripple effect.
It was an extraordinary experience. The folks who participated mostly did not know one another at the beginning, and at the end, I think we really developed a community of care and family.
I see the program to be certainly an amazing success, and I think qualitatively, just when a wide variety of leaders showed up at the graduation, right, and just was able to hear just little snippets of a few folks' stories, they got why this was so important.
I really hope to take all my information and really apply it to the everyday things I really like to do.
We want to educate people on what poverty really is, that it's solvable.
I would like to get more into being a food advocate for the poor.
I want to be somebody who can help direct people when they need it, help them find the resources. And I also want to be somebody who can affect change.
I'm fighting for everyone to have the same equal rights as anyone else.
My story is just one of millions, but I think giving people an opportunity to tell theirs gives them dignity, and that their voice is important, that their story is important.
I'm just going to continue to advocate and continue to educate and be educated, so I can share with others what I'm learning as I'm learning.
Fight poverty, not the poor. Fight poverty, not